into the system settings, just hold down the PlayStation button as well as the Share Create button, and just hold it down until it turns off, just like so. Then if the controller is turned off, if you want to pair it to like a tablet or another cell phone, in its Bluetooth settings, by simply holding down the PlayStation button as well as the Create button when it's turned off, keep holding it until it begins rapidly flashing like this, and now the controller is in pair mode, so you can pair it onto another device. Now, new for the PlayStation is the new Control Center. By tapping down the PlayStation button once, this gives you access to this cool looking toolbar, which will show you your previous games you played, the achievements. It'll track all this for you, as well as you can see your notifications and your recent activities, like your recent screenshots and such. For below that, here's where you can actually have access to the switcher, which allows you to jump between different games. Now, it's not going to instantly load like it does on the Xbox, but it still gives you a faster method. It's a faster method to switch between certain different games. But here's also your notifications, and on top of here is where you can enable Do Not Disturb, very similar to like a smartphone. It's kind of nice. Your game pace is also here too. Music is right here. If you're a subscriber to Spotify, you can actually download your favorite playlist, and depending on the game you're playing, it will also recommend you some playlists as well. Broadcast, of course, broadcast settings. If you like to stream on Twitch or YouTube, you can do that. Your network settings right here. Sound. Speaking of sound, you can actually adjust the microphone of the controller right here as well on the mic tab. And accessories, of course, you can see the stats of your controller. And this is basically just your profile. You could easily appear offline right here. And then here's the power. So this is how you turn off your PlayStation. Now, instead of holding down the PlayStation button for a couple seconds, now you just tap on this once and go all the way to the very right. An interesting thing that's not talked about is that this bar is actually semi-customizable. If you tap this little button right here on your controller, you could hide certain things. So if it has too much, you could disable it, uncheck mark it like so. And of course, there's a PSVR right here, which reminds me, if you own a PlayStation VR and you want to bring it to the PS5, you could get a free adapter that will allow you to plug in your camera to the PlayStation 5. I'll have this linked in the video description down below. All you gotta do is just enter the serial number of your PlayStation VR, and then enter your shipping address, and PlayStation will get a hold of you and ship it to you as soon as possible. So you can actually play and enjoy your PSVR on this new PlayStation 5 hardware. Now, an important thing to know about the PlayStation controller is just like the PS4, there actually is a manual hard reset button, which is located in the back here inside this dark, very narrow hole. So if you use something like a paper clip, just press in here and this will factory reset your controller. So if you ever encounter any issues or experiencing any connection problems, that's how you can factory reset it. So once you have your PlayStation all set up and you went through the setup procedure, in case you want to go back and reset the HDR settings, it's really easy to do so in the home menu of the PlayStation. Just go to the gear icon, and right here, go down to display, screen, and video, and just go into adjust HDR. And this is where you could basically go back and readjust these final settings. Remember, for each of these squares, you gotta make sure that the icon is barely visible. And then another thing you can also do is actually go into your TV settings. Double check and see if your television is on game mode for the fastest respawn time possible. And then, depending on your television, go ahead and see if you could find a connection setting that will allow you to enable HDMI CEC. What this basically allows you to do is whenever you turn off the PlayStation console, it will also